Nardell Schubert. And now this is Dresser Dahlstead inviting you to tune in next week. The events and characters depicted in this story were entirely fictional, and any resemblance to actual places or people, living or dead, is entirely coincidental. The amazing Mr. Malone has come to you from Hollywood. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
My name's Regan. I work for Anthony J. Lyon, International Detective Bureau. They call me the Lion's Eye.
Jeff Regan, Invfestigator, starring Frank Graham as Regan with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. So stand by for mystery and suspense and adventure in tonight's story of The Man on the Hook.
What the newspapers said, George McDonald was the way to get L.A.'s racket boss, Eddie Slogan. Only George McDonald was around. He'd been hiding out all week. The cops wanted him. Grand jury wanted him to testify. The Eddie Slogan mob wanted him. Eddie Slogan was what the grand jury wanted him to testify against. So I had to be the one that found him. That made me a popular guy, like a clay pigeon at a skeet shooter's convention. The thing got rolling at a bowling alley on Vine Street. My lucky day, looked like. I bowled a strike. I went back to the bench to mark the strike in my score pad. Only something was written on the score pad. In lipstick. Regan, coffee shop counter. Hurry. And pinned to the score pad with a bobby pin was a $100 bill.
Well, it be, mister. Coffee?
Yeah, that's okay. No cream.
Mind if I sit on this stool, Regan?
No. No, sit down.
Thanks. Mine's Joe, too, Sonny.
2 coffees, all the cream in one.
You call coffee Joe. You must have been in the Navy.
Sure duty. Regan, open your hand under the counter. I'm going to put 4 $100 bills in your hand.
With the one pin to the score pad, that makes 500. For which I do what?
Find George McDonald.
Listen, lady, half the cops in town are looking for McDonald. Not to mention Eddie Slogan.
I'm Eddie Slogan's wife.
Lady, I'm not a finger man.
It's not that. I don't want McDonald for Eddie.
What do you want him for?
For me, Regan, I love the guy.
Sure you do.
That's straight. I love him.
Get another shamus, sister.
Don't be so special,
I'll see you around.
Oh?
Regan, $500.
Regan? I'll see.
Yeah. That is an argument.
Hey, mister, your name Regan?
Yeah.
Phone for you.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Regan, we can't talk here. Your car's parked out back in the alley.
Hey, you know a lot.
I've got eyes.
Baby blue.
We'll get around to that.
Yeah. Okay, see you in my car in 5 minutes.
Thanks, Regan. Thanks.
Hey, mister, you gonna answer the phone or do I hang it up?
I got it.
Hey, this is a place of business,
Sure. Yeah?
Oh, hello, Jeffrey. Your landlady said you mentioned something about bowling this afternoon, my boy. I'm glad I've located you.
So you've located me.
Yes. Well, Jeffrey, a splendid client has come our way.
Wants to pay us $500.
Well, yes, Jeffrey, that's right. Offers to pay our International Detective Bureau $500...
To find a missing person, Lion.
Yes, Jeffrey. Yes, that's right.
Guy named George McDonald.
Jeffrey, you astound me.
A client has baby blue eyes.
Well, now, I can't say that I noticed, Jeffrey.
And good legs. Nice, slim, good legs, Lion.
Jeffrey, what are you talking about?
You didn't notice the legs? Fatso, you're getting old.
If Mr. Halligan had his trousers on, Jeffrey, how could I see his legs?
Give me that again.
Give you what again? I don't think I understand you, Jeffrey.
You mean a guy came to the office to hire us to trace George McDonald?
Well, certainly, Jeffrey. Mr. Happy Halligan, the used car king.
And gave you $500?
Yeah, that's right. You're to go see him right away. He's at his used car lot on Beverly Boulevard. He wants you to hurry, Jeffrey.
My boss, Anthony J. Lyon, didn't have anything more on Happy Halligan, so I hung up the phone and went out back to the alley where my car was parked. Now we had 2 clients and $1,000 in the kitty. All I had to do was find George McDonald, the guy every cop in L.A. and the Eddie Slogan mob had been looking for a week. It'd be easy. Mrs. Eddie Slogan was waiting for me in my car, all right. But those big, blue, innocent baby eyes were out of place. Like a couple of lambs in a den of tigers.
Cigarette?
Not my brand.
Mind if I do?
Lighters on the dashboard.
Thanks.
So you want me to find George McDonald, Mrs. Slogan?
My name's Naomi.
Yeah,
I want you to find him.
as you like.
I've got it.
Maybe you know a guy named Happy Halligan.
I know him, Regan.
Sure. What's Halligan's angle?
George McDonald's a used car salesman for Halligan. You must have read that in the papers.
Go on.
Halligan got in touch with your office today. He wants you to find George.
First names now.
I told you I was in love with a guy.
Why does Halligan want McDonald?
Halligan's got ideas too big for his two pence.
Halligan in the rackets?
Dime style.
And he wants to put on weight.
That's it.
So he'd like to get his hands on McDonald and put the squeeze on your husband.
You're real quick, Regan.
Whose side are you on?
My side. I heard Halligan was hiring you to look for George.
You heard?
So Eddie heard. Eddie's got the kind of dough around town that's got fast ears.
I believe it.
Well, Regan, if you do find George McDonald, I want him first.
Here's your 500. So long.
What's the matter? People scared?
Listen, sister, I've got your number.
Have you? Well, dial me, Regan. Just to make sure.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, Regan.
That's your busy signal?
You mean George?
You said you loved him.
Regan, I'm not a one-party line. Come and see me. Got a place of my own in Beverly Hills.
Why do you want McDonald?
Because when they get him, Regan, whoever gets him, maybe he'll talk.
You mean he might talk about you and him?
Eddie wouldn't like that.
That adds. That's why you gotta get to McDonald first.
Regan, I'll see you later.
Hey, hold it. Hey! She slammed the door and started to run. There was a back entrance to the bowling alley, and she ducked in and disappeared. Then I looked up into my rear vision mirror, and I saw why Mrs. Eddie Slogan had run. A black sedan had pulled into the alley. 5 guys in it. Hat brims down. I gunned out of the alley and turned left on Vine. The black sedan turned after me. There was plenty of traffic on Vine, but I felt conspicuous, like a giraffe in a flea circus. Below Melrose, I dodged into a side street to try to duck the black sedan. I shouldn't have done that. The black sedan crowded me over to the curb. And then a guy with a couple of cold, sawed-off gray eyes got out and opened my car door.
Leave town, Eddie Slogan says.
Cost him something for my time.
Sure. Here. You want something extra for expenses, come around. Anytime. We'll be open.
No use giving him his change with those 4 other hoods in their car. But what did I care? $1,000 could buy a lot of bandages. I drove on to Happy Halligan's used car lot on Beverly Boulevard. Only after a couple of blocks, the black sedan picked up my trail again. I slowed down in front of Happy Halligan's. The black sedan slowed down behind me. Then I got an idea. I drove right on into the lot. You happy, Halligan?
Sure, I'm happy.
Okay.
No use you getting out of that piece of junk. No trading value.
I'm Regan, International Detective Bureau.
Lion's Eye, huh?
That's it.
I gave your boss $1,000, says you find George McDonald for me.
Yeah. 500's a big fee.
He was a good used car salesman.
Sure he was.
Yeah, they used to come in here. Customers. Beg us to sell them a car. Price, no consideration. What do? We slug them, we insult them, we give them a hot foot, and they apologize for putting us to so much trouble. Them was the war years. Now...
What about McDonald?
Even now, he could sell an Essex hot rod to whistle his mother.
What about McDonald?
Yeah, you're right, Regan. Ain't why I want him. He cleaned out my till, $4,700.
That why you want him?
That's why I want him.
Eddie Slogan's wife said different.
Eddie Slogan. Seems to have read that name in the papers.
Okay, Halligan. What can you give me on McDonald?
Tall, gray temples, 43, athletic. Heard he was a southpaw pitcher in the minors once. Oh, yeah. Served time for larceny.
Anything else?
Car over there is the one he beat it in.
English model?
Demonstrator. We sell them by the picture, people.
Yeah, McDonald must have ditched the car.
Cops picked it up in San Bernardino.
Okay. By the way, there a back way off your lot, Halligan?
Yeah, sure.
Well, how about letting me drive something in good condition? We went to the back of the lot, and Halligan gave me the keys to a job with white sidewalls. I drove out the rear exit. I crossed Beverly Boulevard a couple of blocks up, and the black sedan was still out in front of Halligan's. I headed for the press room downtown at police headquarters. I was looking for a little reporter named of Gabby, who's usually got answers to what goes on around town, and parts with him. For cash.
Oh, hi, Regan.
Hello, Jack. Gabby around?
Yeah, over there.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Hey, Gabby.
Oh, hi, Ray. Hi. What's it?
Information.
Huh? Cash or credit?
Here's 20.
Hey, thanks, Ray. Thanks. What do you need?
I want to know about George McDonald.
Huh?
What you guys are writing in the papers is plenty of nothing.
Well, cops won't let us print what we know. They're afraid we'll tip Slogan. Not that he don't know more than we know.
What do we know?
Slogan's mob got a place up past San Bernardino.
Where McDonald's car was found?
Yeah. Place is up in the canyon. Well, Slogan and his little playmates took a business competitor up there about a week ago. You know, Ray.
They took him up, but they didn't bring him back.
The business competitor made the mistake of getting very depressed all of a sudden and shooting himself. Only it turns out there was a witness.
McDonald. How did the cops get that?
Well, there's only one road up to the canyon. Gas station guy at the junction saw McDonald.
That all of it?
All I know, Ray.
McDonald in the rackets?
In and out. Worked for Slogan, but that busted off about 5 or 6 months ago.
What about a guy named Halligan?
Happy? He's in the rackets.
So I drove back out to Happy Halligan's. I like to have my clients tell me the truth. It helps me get my work done. But Halligan wasn't around. Neither were the 5 Slogan triggermen in the black sedan, so I took my own car, picked up the evening papers to see what they had on the hunt for McDonald. They didn't have much, but what they did have was peculiar. The cops had released the fact that some stuff was stolen from the Slogan mob up in the canyon. But what was stolen didn't make sense. Phone number pad, gold cigar holder, table cigarette lighter. About 9 o'clock at night, I pulled into a gas station in the hills up past San Bernardino.
How many, sir?
Fill her up. Only, wait a second.
Yes, sir?
I'm looking for George McDonald.
Yes, sir.
You saw him, huh? About a week ago?
Well,
There's $10 in it for you.
yeah, I did see him.
How'd you know it was McDonald?
I described him to the police after they found the dead man up in the canyon.
And you identified the car. The English right-hand drive job McDonald was driving? You'd remember that.
Yeah, he drove right in here, into the station, in a right-hand drive car. He was very nervous, and I guess maybe I acted funny because he pulled a gun on me, leaned out and stuck it up against me. But I had OSS training in the war.
And you pivoted and grabbed his wrist. Did you get the gun?
Yeah. Police said that was positive identification. They traced the serial number to McDonald.
But he got away.
He left his motor running.
Okay, I owe you $10. Fill up the tank and we'll see what the total comes to. I couldn't go up the canyon to the Slogan mob place. Cops had the canyon blockaded. They had a road check halfway down back to San Bernardino, too. Highway patrolman stopped me and flashed his light around the car. Then he went back a couple of cars, pulled up a little ways behind me. Everybody looking for George McDonald. I stuck a cigarette in my mouth and reached for the dashboard lighter, but all I got was the hole. I was out of matches, so I bent down and felt around.